everybody. Welcome to the webinar. Great to have everybody here on today's workshop, live workshop together. How's everybody doing? Hey, Margie, great to see you here in the webinar. Love seeing you in the chat. Great to see you. Hey, Valerie, welcome from rural Texas. I would love to know San Antonio. I went to Fort Hood. It's a base, an Army base in Texas. Some years back, I was speaking at the U.S. Army base there. It was in the Austin area, I believe. I love that experience. It was fantastic. Hey, Tyson, great to have you here. Welcome, Tyson, up in Queensland, right? Great to have you here, Tyson. Wonderful. Hey, Nelsa, welcome from New York. NYC, that's my hometown. I was born and raised in New York, Long Island, but I lived in the West Village for a bit. Let me know where you're from. Whereabouts in New York? Hey, Joshua, great to have you from BC, Canada. Welcome, guys. Hey, Matt from Denver. Tell me, whereabouts in Denver? I'd love to learn. You guys have some beautiful mountains. Marshall, great to have you here from North Carolina. Great, Marshall. Hey, Zoe from Melbourne. Great to have you here from Melbourne. Whereabouts in Melbourne? I'd love to. We try to go to Melbourne a few times a year. Beautiful city. Great coffee. Guys, I launched a poll for you guys. Please go ahead and answer that poll. You can go to the polls tab, or you can see it in the chat right there. What's up, buddy? Good to see you here. Awesome, guys. A good friend of mine is in the chat. He runs a great app called Gather app. It's a great referral program. Great place for you to, if you have a Shopify store, if you have a website of any kind, go ahead and check them out. Pop a link why not? Do some shameless plug. Matt, what's up, man? It's good to see you here. Yes, Highlands Ranch. Awesome. Good to see you. Fitzroy. Awesome, Zoe. Good to know that we're about in Melbourne. Hey, James. Great to have you here from Lakeville, Minnesota. I hope that's correct, right? Minnesota is MN? Because Maine is MA. Yes. Okay. Hey, awesome, James. Awesome to see you guys. Guys, as you're coming into the webinar, let me know about yourself. Introduce yourself in the chat. Let other people know who you are. And let me know what would be a win for you today. If you haven't popped that in the chat already, put it in right now. What would be a win for you today? I would love to learn a little bit what you're expecting to learn, what you'd like to learn. What would be an amazing win? If you got one thing out of today's webinar, I would love to hear about it. Hey, Kevin, Ottawa, Canada. Great to have you here. We got some Canadians here. Sammy, what's up, buddy? Samuel Latifi is a good old friend of mine. I got to do a quick story of Samuel Latifi. Samuel Latifi, I met him a whole bunch of times. We first met in Spain, and then we met up in Dubai. And why is that a significant story for me? Because Sammy gave me a book that really changed my worldview in a big way. He gave me a book called Anyone Can Do It. It's a book about a brother and sister partnership that started a business called Coffee Republic. Sarah and Baba Hashimi. And that book kind of opened my eyes to entrepreneurship in a big way. It was one of the first books I read on business. Thank you so much, brother, for giving me that book, man. It really changed my life. Yes, great to have you here. Hey, Tyson, good to see you. Hey, Diane, good to see you here. So Diane's looking for marketing tips on getting people to the automated webinar. Awesome. Yes, I am recording this, Sam. What do you want to save it for a rainy day? Hey, Nick, good to have you here. Let us know what would be a win for you today, guys. Joshua's win said, I would love to automate the lead generation process. Love that. Okay, we're going to be covering lots. Diane is from sunny New Mexico. I love it. Dan, I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, and there's so much beautiful cinematography of Albuquerque in that series, and it looks like a stunning place. We drove through Mexico one time when we were going to a conference. Gorgeous. How automated webinars work is what Tyson says. Awesome stuff. We got Margie saying, I want to maximize the webinar of offering more digital options. Love it. Converting leads, Sammy says. Love it. Good stuff. All right, guys, just let you know that we also have Jenny, who is in the chat. Jenny is our customer success manager. She's also the mayor of our private community inside of Webinar Ninja called Ninja Town. She's the mayor of Ninja Town, and she's in the chat to help you out. I might be mentioning things. She pops some links in there. If you have any questions or need some help, she's in the chat. Also with me in the chat is my live partner in business, Nicole. Nicole, say hello. It's good to see you here. Guys, if you have any questions along the way, don't be afraid to ask them. Just pop them in the questions tab that's next to the chat tab, and we'll make sure to get to them before the end of the webinar. So today's workshop is all about how to accelerate your business growth by maximizing your leads and sales with automated webinars. That's a long way of saying is how to make more money with automation. Okay. I really, really want to share this system with you because every time I've shared this with any of our students or clients, or I've shared it with just a friend, it really has been a huge brain shift for them to understand, oh, that's why I need to do this. And that's why it works. And then when they try it out, they're so pleasantly surprised. Awesome stuff. Okay. So guys, as we get started, I want to just talk a little bit about every business has some form of a sales funnel. Okay. And I'm going to just break down why most likely you having problems with your sales funnel. Most people's sales funnel looks like something like this. I'm just going to go to my camera real quick, switch my camera. Looks something like this, right? And basically you start with a lead magnet, some sort of video, some sort of ebook, some sort of white paper, some sort of something. Hey, buy my, opt in for this thing. It's free and it's amazing value. And then they opt in, and then you send them a bunch of emails, right? And you send the emails and you just bombard them over and over with emails. Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my accolades. This is why this opt-in is important. This is why you need to buy my product. And then you send them to an offer page and you say, hey, buy my offer. Here's the page. And that's basically most people's funnels. Does this sound familiar? Let me know in the chat. Does this sound familiar? Does this look like something that you probably have in your business? Some iteration of this of some sort, okay? And the problem with this funnel is that it's broken for many reasons, okay? And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to give you an alternative that actually works because it is based on logic and based on human nature, okay? The thing is that these types of funnels that I just showed, this funnel, right? It's just assuming that everybody that's coming to you is just trying to figure out, how do I buy, right? That they're extremely hot leads. Like, oh man, I love this person. I'll buy anything they give me. Because basically that's what you're expecting them to do. You're sending them a link and you're like, hey, buy this thing. Like, you're just expecting them to buy. So that's just not how the world works. That's just not how sales works. Okay. And unfortunately, we've been maybe sold that it's that easy and you're just one funnel away and all this kind of stuff. Mad respect to those guys and ClickFunnels. Love them to death, and they have a great software and everything. But the truth is that it's a little bit more intricate than that, just like anything in business and life. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. I want you to pop it in the chat. Give me your answer in the chat. In your opinion, what is the one thing that has to happen, must happen, in order for a sale to happen? And as you're thinking about that, as you're typing that in the chat, think about the last time you bought something, right? Think about what you have to do in order, or you have to experience in order for you to buy something, especially if it's like a big purchase, maybe something that's a couple $1,000s, maybe a car, maybe an expensive watch, maybe, I don't know, a down payment on a house, whatever it might be. Okay. Trust, build trust. I see a lot of trust in there. Fulfill a need. I love it, Valerie. Nilsa says the customer must trust you. Kevin says trust. Awesome. Must build trust. Good stuff. I love it. Excellent. All right, we're gonna come back to this, okay? But today, what we're gonna do together is that we're gonna build a system with all the steps to creating a sales system that works with automated webinars. Okay, this is my promise to you. This is what I'm going to give you by the end of the webinar. If I do this, all right, if I give you this, I will have done my job, right? Mission complete for me. Okay, that's my promise to you. This is what I'm going to do, right? I'm also going to show you how to create an automated webinar. I'm going to show you how to run one so that it's on autopilot, and then I'm going to show you how to convert customers into buyers with your automated webinars. Okay. So these are the three things I'm going to show you today in this system. Okay. I love all the great answers here. Some kind of proof, build trust, more value than cost. The customer must know what they're getting. I love it, Zoe. Okay. So that's my job. I'm going to give you all these stuff. I'm going to give you the whole system. I'm going to show you how to create, run, and convert your customers. Your job, guys, this is my end of the bargain. Okay. Your end of the bargain. Okay. Is you're going to engage with me. You're going to participate. Listen, you have made the time to be here today, okay? You have made the time to join this webinar. You might as well get the most out of it. You might as well go 100%, right? How you do anything is how you do everything, right? So I want you to participate. Your job is to participate with me in the chat. Your job is, if you have any questions now, in your head right now, later on as I'm explaining things, anytime during the webinar, go ahead and pop it in the questions area. If you go to the questions area, you will see that you can just pop questions inside there. That way, it's in the questions area. We can find it easily when it's time for Q&A. This is one of the awesome things about Webinar Ninja is that we separate the questions so that it's easy to find. And also, when somebody submits a question, you can upvote that question if you like that question. You want somebody to answer that question. You want me to answer that question first or second or whatever it might be. So go ahead and ask questions away. And I already see that Marsha's got a great question already. Awesome stuff. Okay, and there are no silly questions. There's no simple questions. There's none of that. Okay. You can ask anything at all, even if it's outside of automated webinars, even if this is just about business or anything else. Okay. So what also you're going to get today? If you stick with me to the end, I'm going to give you a special gift. I'm going to give you a great PDF that you can use, which is our pre-webinar checklist. It's a great checklist to calm your nerves and know exactly that you've ticked all the boxes. You know exactly what to do before you go live. You'll also get access to the replay if you hang out to the end, and you'll also get all your questions answered. My job is to make sure that this is interactive and that this applies to your business in particular. All right, just taking a sip of my water. Before I get started, let me know in the chat, is there anybody here who has never been on a webinar with me? Okay, you could say me, my feelings will not get hurt. In fact, I'll welcome you with open arms. Let me know if you've never been on a session, never been on a webinar, say me. Sammy, out of all the people, yeah. Nelsa, okay, awesome. Marsha, good. I like webinars with you. Okay. All right, never before, Kate says. Okay, awesome stuff. No problem, guys. So my name is Omar Zenhom. I'm the co-founder and CEO of WebinarNinja, which is the software you're on right now. I run this company with my partner in business, my partner in life, Nicole, who's in the chat as well. I've run over 500 webinars since 2012. And I've made all the mistakes for you, so you don't have to make them, right? I've learned not only from my own mistakes, but from the over 20,000 users that have used the software over the years. We've learned so much from what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to be kind of just distilling it and giving it to you on a silver platter. I used to be a high school teacher. I was a high school university teacher for 13 years. That's what I was doing in Dubai, by the way, when we mentioned where I met, where I met up with Sammy. And that's where I get all my teaching skills. So a lot of the things I'll be teaching you today about sales, about marketing comes from my teaching days as well, because as a teacher, you got to convince 30 bodies that what you're coming out of your mouth is important. You got to listen up, right? So I'm going to show you a little bit about that as well. So, and you're in good hands. A lot of people on the internet, they teach, but they don't really know how to teach. I also am the host of the $100 MBA Show podcast, which is a hit podcast in 30 countries, over 250 million downloads in total. It's been an amazing ride, and we continue to publish daily business lessons or regular business lessons for you. So go ahead and check that out if you're looking for some extra podcast listening. And I've sold a lot of different online courses using this system and helped a lot of students, over 50,000 students over the course of my career. So I'm really excited to share what we have today. Okay. I started Webinar Ninja because I was a content creator, course creator. I'm still a course creator. I still create courses and publish them. I speak on stages, and I wanted to build my audience and sell my products and services, right? But I hated using all the different webinar software out there. I used to run a webinar every single week, but it'd take me 2 hours to create a webinar with all the really janky software. I then, researched all the solutions, hated all the solutions. I said, this is ridiculous. This takes forever. I had all these pieces of software, Frankenstein, and get together to make it work. I had webinar software and landing page software and video storage and email marketing software and automation and time zone conversions and polls and offers and analytics and all that kind of stuff. And I was putting it all together every single week, and it was really, really painful. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. And this is the better way. I basically sketched this out on a napkin. It was actually in my journal, something that looks similar to this. I make it a habit to journal as much as I can. And I sketched this out. I just wanted to be able to show up to a webinar, teach, let the technology dissolve in the background. That's it. Create a webinar in a few seconds. And that's what Webinar Ninja is. And 8 years later, over 2 million people have attended a webinar on Webinar Ninja. This has been my passion, my life. Every waking moment, I am thinking about this business. And I want to share with you what I've learned along the way and how to best utilize the power of automation and automated webinars so that you can get the most out of it. Here's the truth, guys. Honest truth. If I share things with you that don't work, it's just going to shoot me in the foot, right? I got to share things that do work, so you do use it, and you do hopefully use my software to do it. and you then go ahead and be able to succeed. When you succeed, I succeed. Otherwise, it doesn't work, right? And so, just full transparency, I am doing this not only to help you, but to help you so that you can be successful and therefore use our products and services in the long run. Okay, awesome stuff. So, today we're going to focus on how to automate your leads and sales with automated webinars. Right? I love it, Marsha. Good stuff. So we're going to back up a little bit. We talked about how does the sale occur in the first place. Okay. I think sometimes we get really bogged down. How many of you, when you think about marketing and sales and leads, tell me in the chat right now, put your fingers on the keyboard. Okay. How many of you get kind of overwhelmed? There's so many things to think about. Paid ads. I got to get these people into my webinar. I got to get these people on my email list. How do I convert them? How to convince them? What features should I show? What things will sell the product or service? What am I going to say to them? How do I close the sale? How do I keep the customer happy? How do I know this person's a good client? There's a million things. It's tiring, Tyson says. Yes, so many moving parts, right? Yes, exactly. Nick says me. Marsha's, sorry, Nelsa says yes as well. Good stuff. Kate says my email receiving selling every day. Correct. Many emails, right? We're doing all these things, so many choices, okay? Not only that, the customer has so many distractions, so many moving. There's so much noise out there on social media, in their inbox. They're oversubscribed to newsletters. It's incredibly hard, right, to stand out. It's overwhelming. Exactly. Right. So my job is to just remind you of what's important. Okay. Because most of the things I found that work in my life, in my business, is just a few things. If I focus on those few things, that really makes up 80% of all the success I've had, right? You got to focus on what's important. Okay. And we're going to walk through how to make sure we fulfill that most important part. Okay. So let's go through that. All right. So the secret of sales, I'm going to just bust out with all these, like busting all these myths here. The secret of sales is not about price. It's not about how cheap you are. It's not about how expensive you are. It's not about your discounts. It's not about your sales. It's not about, what your one-time offer is. It's not about your bonuses. It's not about any of that. Okay. The proof is we're about to enter, or if we're not already, in a recession. The companies that will not go out of business are the companies that are the most expensive products. Okay. You're not going to see Porsche go out of business. You're not going to see Louis Vuitton go out of business. Right. So it's not about price or discounts or sales or whatever. Actually, the people that have the thinnest margins are the ones that are at risk of going out of business. Okay. So it's not about that. Okay. Sales is not about having a great deal. Okay. Like, oh, I snatched a deal. It's almost free. No. Sales is not about features. It's not about how many features you can shout out your customer. How many modules your course is, how many weeks your coaching program is. It's not about how many sessions they're going to get. It's not about how many pockets are in the pair of pants that you're selling them, right? It's not about that. Okay? They're not buying a pair of pants because it has 10 pockets. They're buying a pair of pants because they want to look good on Instagram, right? It's not about the features. Okay? It's not about saying the right thing. Some people think sales is about, like, I say the right words and all of a sudden they're hypnotized and they buy. How many of you have that impression? I know we're joking around a little bit, tongue in cheek here, but how many have the impression, I got to say the right things? If I know how to close the right words or say the right things, that's just going to change everything. And they're going to just be like, yeah, where do I buy it? Take my money. Okay. No, it's not about any of these things. Okay. Let me know in the chat if what I'm saying to you is a little bit confronting, or you feel like there's a little bit of truth in this, at least a little, right? I obsess on wording so much. Valerie, don't worry, you're not alone, right? that was me forever, okay? Let me know in the chat. How many of you kind of worry about these things? You think about, like, oh, maybe my price is not right. Maybe I need to add more features. Maybe I need to add more products to my product line. Yes, phrasing the email exactly right. Exactly. Okay. Get stuck on pricing. Okay. Awesome. I love what Sammy said there. Yes, phrasing the email exactly right. We're going to go back to that. Okay. Right. And we're going to go back to that. I can't wait to go back to that. Okay. We're going to go back to that. But before we get to Sammy's little beautiful line, because it's just really going to open up a great little nugget of knowledge here. Marsha said, I go back and forth with pricing so much. I try to over-explain. Pricing makes me sweat. I love it. This is so good. I love that you guys are going through this. I love it because we're getting the stuff out because we're going to clean this up. All this stuff is going to get cleaned up today. Okay. I want to share with you a story about my dad. This is my dad in the photo. Okay. My dad was an engineer for his first half of his life. They hit a recession in the 70s, couldn't find a job. He picked up a sales job as a car salesman. Think about that. Like, if you think of sales, you think of car salesman, right? With the patches on the arms or on the elbows, right? And he never looked back. He just fell in love with it. He just became really great at sales. In fact, my dad was he was a salesman for a car company called Acura, which is like the luxury brand of Honda in the US. And he was the number one salesman on the Eastern Seaboard for 10 years straight. Okay. He's like the best salesman I know. Okay. And I used to resist business and sales growing up because I used to think, oh, that's not me. And you got to have charisma and it's up and down. And the volatility kind of scared me. And that's why I went into teaching. And the funny thing is, a lot of that stuff crept in somehow. And I found my way back into business. Okay. The story about my dad I want to share with you is when I was 13 years old, I learned some amazing lessons that just sat in my head. And I was able to come back to them as a business owner. When I was 13 years old, my first job was washing cars at the wash bay at the dealership, the car dealership my dad worked at. So every Saturday, my dad would, we would go in the car. We would drive to work together. We used to stop by a little convenience store and he used to get me a hot chocolate and he'd get a coffee. It was one of my favorite moments growing up. Every Saturday we used to do this. We'd get to there. He would say, have a great day. I would go to the wash bay. I would wash the cars from 9 to 3. I was getting paid. I was so happy. I had some pocket money at the age of 13, but from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, the dealership was still open, but my job was done. So I used to go and sit in the showroom and just wait for my dad to be done with work, right? But I used to just sit around and watch the other salespeople. And then I would watch my dad. The other salespeople, they were amazing speakers. Gift of gab. By the way, my dad's an immigrant. My dad has a very thick Egyptian accent when he speaks English, right? English is not his first language. America is something he had to learn, the country, the culture, everything like that. So he's already at a disadvantage compared to everybody else. So these guys had the gift of gab. They're amazing. I would see customers come in. They would show them all the features and they would show them, oh, look at this car. This is the latest model. This model's really hot. And this color is amazing. You're going to love it. Da, 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 da. Right? My dad did none of that. My dad did absolutely none of that. And I asked my dad, how are you the best salesperson in this showroom if you don't know how to speak so well? You're not a great salesman. You're not showing all these features. You're doing something completely different. You're not even looking at the car. You're not even showing the car when you first meet them. And my dad told me, he was like, I don't do that because that doesn't work. I said, what do you mean? Why doesn't it work? Why won't you show your product? Right? He said, well, because they don't really care about the product. Right? I'm like, what do you mean they don't care about the product? They're buying a car. What are you talking about? He's like, well, really, they're going to buy my product, what I offer them, once they buy me, once they understand who I am. Right? And I said, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, first of all, they're very skeptical when they're coming in. They're actually afraid of me. Right? So I have to first show them that I have their best interests in mind. I have to first build, like a lot of you said in the beginning of today's webinar, trust with them. They have to trust me first. They actually have to like me first. They have to understand that, hey, this person is a little bit different. They understand my needs. And it's like, so how do you know their needs? He said, well, I actually just ask them a bunch of questions. I don't talk to them. I don't say things to them. I want to hear from them. Why do you want a new car? Right? What's wrong with your current car? It looks kind of nice. What's wrong with I love whatever they're driving, a Chevrolet, right? Oh, I'm looking for a new car because this, and this, right? So the point my dad was making is at the end of the day, we buy from people, we buy from brands because we trust them, right? This is what makes a sale happen, right? Is we have a level of trust. And the more trust we have, the more sales we're going to make. Why is Apple the most profitable company in the world? Right? Because they have built so much trust over the years that even when they do their keynote, we haven't even touched or feel or tried the product yet. We're like, I gotta have that. I gotta have those earphones. I gotta have that latest iPhone. right? Because there's no question it's going to be great because they built so much trust. Okay. So our job is to build trust with our audience as fast as possible and as deep as possible, right? And this doesn't happen like this. You can't go deep and you can't do it fast with this funnel, okay? Because you can't guarantee they're gonna read your lead magnet or read any of your emails or even click on your offer, right? You need to build trust quickly in the moment as fast as possible, all right? So this is what today's workshop's all about. How do we do this with automation? And I want to go back to what Sammy said. Sammy says, I deliberate a lot about the phrasing of the email, right? And I'm going to say something to you, Sammy. You're my dear friend. This is my gift to you because I love you so much. I learned this from Matthew Kimberly, one of the best copywriters ever. And it's not about what's in the email. It's about who the email's from. It's not about what's in the email. It's about who the email's from. What does that mean? When you get a text message from the person you love, the love of your life, your wife, your mother, your brother, somebody that you really adore, when you see that on your screen on the phone, you got a message from this person, right? What you feel compelled, I got to open that up and read that message, right? What do they got to say to me? Maybe it's a funny meme, maybe it's something special, maybe them thinking about me, right? Why are you opening that message? You don't even care about the content. You just care that it's from somebody you love, somebody that you respect, somebody that you adore, right? It's more important for you to build trust with your audience so that they can't wait to open your emails. It doesn't matter what's in the email. It's just, I know Sammy sent me an email. I got to open that up. It's going to be amazing. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a fire. Give me something so I know that this resonates with you. Our job is to build that kind of trust, okay? Is to make sure that people like, hey, they're going to open it up because, hey, this makes sense. This person knows what they're talking about. Okay. This is why so many people are watching the keynote on Apple, for example. This is why when Elon Musk does a video or an interview, people are watching it. It's all over Twitter or whatever it is. Yeah, he owns Twitter. But the point is that he commands that kind of respect. Okay. So let's go back to us. We need to build as much trust as fast as possible, as deep as possible to get more sales with our audience. Okay. So our job today is we're going to build a trust building machine, right? I want us to all be able to build that trust, that credibility. The problem is that with our funnel here is we're asking for the big sale, we're asking for the big offer here, and we haven't built enough trust yet. We haven't earned this sale yet. Okay. So what we got to do is build the trust with automation. So we're not doing it 24/7 so that when we are ready to make an offer, right? We have built enough credibility and trust so that our audience is ready to buy that big flagship product that you have. Okay. So let's build that trust building machine. I'm going to give you a glimpse of what that machine looks like, and then we're going to break it down. Okay. So this is what the trust building machine looks like, right? It's a little bit more steps than what I showed you because we're trying to build trust, right? So step one is compelling promise. Next is instant access free offer. Then we have deliver on the promise. Then we have a no-brainer offer. Then we have an initial purchase. Then we have a live webinar. And then we have a flagship offer. I'm going to break down what it all means. Don't worry about it. But I just wanted to give you the full picture real quick. All right. No problem, Drew. I got your back. The great thing about this is the 5 steps right here, the first 5 steps are all going to be taken care of with an automated webinar, right? So the last 2 steps are going to require our time, the live webinar, and even the flagship offer, that can be automated. It's going to be an automated offer. So technically 1 out of the 7 steps you're going to spend time on. Okay, everything else is going to be automated. Let's break it down. The first thing is a compelling promise. If you want somebody to get on your email list so you can start building trust with them, right? You have to actually attract them with something they actually want and need. Okay, too many of us love your trust funnel. Thank you, Diane. Promise them something, give them something they actually feel compelled to sign up for, right? And here's a little hint. We are most attracted to things that solve a pain or a problem, right? If you are in dire need for a solution, for example, let's say you have a massive headache, all right? It's a splitting headache, right? And I said to you, hey, I have some aspirin in my wallet, or I have aspirin in my drawer here at the office, right? Would you like it? That's pretty compelling. Yeah, of course. No brainer. I want it because I know this is going to solve my problem, right? So you got to find the headache and the aspirin in your business, okay? For example, in my audience, they have the headache of how do I get my leads and sales without spending 24/7 selling, right? I need a disproportionate amount of time in versus how much sales I get out. So this is what you got to find out in your business. What is the most compelling promise? And listen, I'm going to show you right now that this is not brain surgery. I was gonna say brain science. It's not brain surgery. You actually don't need to figure this out on your own. Okay. Um, you just need to run an Ask Me Anything webinar, right? We recommend this to all our customers. Is one of your first webinars should be just an open Q&A webinar, and you answer questions. And in the questions area, as you can see, you can upvote questions. As Marsha has 3 votes for her question, right? And the top questions you have are your topics. They're topics you can run webinars for, topics for blog posts, topics for podcast episodes, topics for YouTube videos. They're compelling problems that people have that you can build upon. Okay. So the first thing is you need a compelling promise to solve a problem, right? Whatever it is, big, small, whatever it is. Okay. That becomes the title, that becomes the topic of your automated webinar. That becomes the topic of your automated webinar. Why? Because this is what's going to get people in. I want to learn about that. This is something that I'm suffering with, right? This is really in business what's called product market fit. The market has a problem. You have a product that can solve it. In this case, your product is the automated webinar. You got to see this automated webinar like a product, like you're selling it to them, right? Next, so we have a compelling promise, right? This is the topic of your webinar. This is what I solve. This is what I'm going to help you with, okay? Then we're going to move on to an instant access free offer. Okay. Now, the reason why I call it an instant access free offer is that we're going to create an automated webinar. I'm going to show you in a moment how to do that. It's very simple. Okay. And we're going to create an automated webinar as if we were charging money for it, right? As if you're charging money for it. Okay. So I want you to create this automated webinar as if this is like an online course, or an online workshop that you're creating. And you got to think, what would I create if I was charging $100, $200 for this, $500 for this, right? Would I create, a really powerful workshop with a great workbook that goes with it, and maybe some free templates that go with it, right? Think about that. What would I do if you had to charge for this automated webinar? Okay. And then you're going to give it for free, right? So let me just quickly show you real quick how simple this is. We're going to create an instant access one. This means it's not timed. It's not one of those like, oh, you just made it 5 minutes to go to the next. No, everybody knows that's a lie. Okay. Or, choose a time for the next session. No, you want instant access. Why? Is because you're trying to build trust as fast as possible, as deep as possible. And I don't know what they have on their schedule in another 5 minutes or in the next hour. They could have a meeting. They could have other things to do, pick up their kids. No, as soon as they see my automated webinar, I want them to have access to it immediately because I want them to consume it immediately. Okay. Anytime you want to create any kind of webinar, you just hit create up top inside of our software. You can create all kinds of webinars, live, automated, series, hybrid. But we're going to create an automated webinar because this is what we're doing today as an example. So let's say I am going to do a compelling offer. Let's say I am a real estate coach, right? I show people how to buy low value homes, fix them up, flip them, blah, 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 right? What's the biggest pain point with these people? How to identify these houses. Where do I find these diamonds in the rough, right? So where do you find high value properties for low prices, right? Let's just say this is the big pain point that people have when they're trying to be in this niche, try to flip homes that are low cost to buy and fix them up and then sell them for a actual fee. I would actually do this as an exercise if you're creating an automated webinar. Is like, how much would I charge for this? How much would I charge? How many dollars? How many cents? Whatever I would do, right? and then flip it to free. No, I'm going to give it for free. Okay. Now, in automated webinars, you can create all kinds of different webinars, specific times, both watch now and a specific time if you want to show up, have them show up specific times. But we're going to choose watch now. This is an instant access webinar. All right. I then just choose, we're going to talk about how to create a recorded video for your automated webinar that you're going to pop in here. You can upload it straight inside of WebinarNinja. We will host your video automatically. And there's no storage limit. You can pop it in there for your automated webinar, right? But I'm just going to pop any webinar I have here and upload a video here, and we're good to go. We're going to hit create webinar. Once I hit create webinar, that's pretty much it. WebinarNinja creates all the aspects of the webinar. It's going to then create the landing page, or registration page, all the email sequences that go with it, the thank you page, all the stuff they need to see on the actual page, the video, all that, everything is done. So as you can see, it's here's done. I can then modify it, change my my feature image. I can change my registration page, customize all the stuff if I like. Let's say I want to go here, boom, done. And I pop that in here. Great stuff. And if I want to, I can customize my registration page. We have built-in landing pages, all that kind of stuff. So super, super simple. You can choose from our templates. As you can see, you can change colors, fonts, and we have other more intricate templates that you can use if you like. But I just want to show you how quick and easy it is to create an automated webinar. This is the easy part. The tech part, super simple, okay? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what we do next. Okay. And I'm going to pop over to the questions real quick, just so, and let me stop sharing screen real quick. I want to go and make sure that I'm answering some questions here. I'm going to go with Marsha. She's got the top votes. Are automated webinars good to use with Facebook ads? They're brilliant to use with Facebook ads. I'll tell you for two reasons. Number one, instant access gives them access immediately. When you're running ads, you want to get the lead. That means you want to get the email address so that you're getting value for your money. So at least when you have your email address, now you can nurture them. You can go back to them. You don't want to send them an ad where that you don't have that lead, so that unfortunately you're not going to be able to follow up with them later on. With Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that kind of stuff, there's also an option to a lead ad where you actually put in the name and email address inside of Facebook. They never leave Facebook. And then you can take those leads and register them for the automated webinar. And we have a way you can do that with Zapier. Very, very cool. Awesome question, Marsha. They're amazing. And you can have a budget of $10 a day and you can get your leads on autopilot. And I've tried this myself over and over. Okay, so now we have an instant access offer, which means that the offer is the actual automated webinar. We're seeing this as a product, okay? Next, we're going to deliver on the promise. Our job is whatever we said on that automated webinar title is in the actual recorded video we deliver. I'm talking about this has got to be the workshop of your life, okay? This has got to be as good as your product, as your coaching, as imagine you got asked to do a TED Talk. Imagine you had to speak on the biggest stage in your industry and you had to deliver and you had to knock their socks off. You got to knock some socks off in this webinar, okay? Why? Because this is where we build the trust. Why? They just took a chance on you. They gave your name and email address. They're now folding their arms and they're asking themselves, does this person deliver on their promise? Are they going to actually do this for me? Are they actually going to help me, right? In the first few minutes, they should start unfolding their arms and say, oh, this is actually pretty good. This is actually really useful. Where's my pen? I got to take some notes. This is pretty damn good, right? This is your job. This is where you sell them, by giving them the promise, by delivering on what you do best. And what I love about this is it has nothing to do with sales. You're not selling them anything. You're just showing them what you can do. You're showing them your value, right? You're teaching, okay? It's amazing, okay? What we want to do here is we want to make sure that on this webinar that we recorded, that we are going to give them not only the answer to that question on the title and solving that problem, but we want to give them something that can help them remember us, whether it's a worksheet, whether it's a template, whether it's something for them to download and for them to get going. When people participate, you guys heard of the IKEA effect? When somebody builds something, works on something, they value it more. So you want them to work on something while they're on the automated webinar, whether it's a worksheet or something, so they can keep on with you, and they can follow you along and feel like they're building something, working on something with you. They're going to value what you have more. Okay. The next step, the no-brainer offer. Too many of us, as soon as we get the opt-in, we send them some emails, and when we make them an offer for $2,000, $10,000, $15,000, $500, $300, right? We try to just sell them our flagship product, right? Hey, I know we just met, but can you open your wallet and drop $2,000, right? No, we don't want to do that. We want a no-brainer offer. We want an offer that just, they feel stupid not to buy it. Like, this makes total sense. Okay. And this is not going to be expensive. This is going to be low cost. Okay. Marsha said like a $7 offer. That's a good example. $7 offer. It could be a $20 offer. It could be something where, think about, you don't really think about swiping your card. Imagine you going to the store, you're going to the grocery store, you're hungry, whatever. You're trying to buy something real quick. You got to buy a card for somebody because it's their birthday, whatever. Oh, it's $15. It's okay, fine. You know, it's not gonna break the bank. I don't need to, uh, call Congress to get approval for this purchase, right? No, easy, no-brainer offer. And you want to maximize the value here. And one of the things that really work are scripts, templates, things that they can implement right away from what you just taught them. So say, for example, you were teaching them breathing techniques, right? So maybe you can send them like some audio files that are X amount they can listen to, so that they can practice their breathing techniques before bed and in the morning, right? A checklist, right? Or a set of checklists, or a set of slide templates that they can use, that they can, say, for example, your expertise is showing them how to pitch to investors. Here's 4 different slide templates, depending on if you're investing to a VC, or you're investing to an angel, or you're getting, maybe debt financing, whatever it might be. The point here is that it's got to be like plug and play, no brainer offer, something that's low cost. Why? Because you have a higher likelihood of selling to a customer than you are to a non-customer. So let's get them to become a customer. All right. Let's get them to become a customer, even if it means selling it at a low cost, just to get them through the door. Now they're building an incredible amount of trust. Why? Because they not only gave their email and their time to watch your automated webinar, you delivered on the promise. You're like, wow, this person knows what they're doing. They helped me tremendously. Delivered on the promise. I gave my time and email. They delivered, right? Good exchange. Now they're giving me an offer. It's a low cost offer. It seems like a no-brainer offer because it got all this great stuff and I can use it right away. I then give up my money. Okay. Think about what's happening here. I give up my money. Here's $7, here's $10, here's $15. I get the thing that I paid for. I use it. This is incredible. I can't believe I paid $15 for this. This is ridiculous, right? Trust building is going through the roof. Okay. Now, what do? This is a part of the initial purchase when they buy that no-brainer offer. Okay. Now, this all is done in the automated webinar. We create offers in the automated webinar. We give them handouts. We give them all kinds of stuff that they need in the automated webinar. Okay. Now, after they've bought the product, you can invite them to a live webinar. I run a live webinar every 2 weeks. This is something we recommend to all our students, all our members. Run a webinar every 2 weeks, a live webinar. This live webinar is basically a webinar where you demo your flagship product, what you sell, your coaching program, your product, your service, your maybe your course, whatever it might be. Okay. Your live webinar is then you can invite them and say, hey, you saw this webinar, you bought my entry level product, my no-brainer offer, right? If you want to take this to the next level, which they probably do because they're doing it on their own, they're not doing it with the guidance of you or the guidance of your team or the guidance of your tool, right? Then you should attend this live webinar so you can see how you can do that easily. You could see how you can take things to the next level. I can show you my product, my service, my offering, right? So the reason why we frame it like a demo is because I want buyers on that webinar. I don't want people that are kicking tires. And by the way, they're not kicking tires because they just bought one of my products, right? They bought the entry level, the no-brainer offer. Okay. Then I do my live webinar every 2 weeks. That webinar gets filled every 2 weeks with new people. And then I sell my product. I have now built a tremendous amount of trust by the time I get to the live webinar, right? Let me know in the chat, how many of you see the difference? Say me. How many of you see the difference between this and this? What do you sell? Hassan says. Well, Hassan, what do you do? Right? What do you offer? What's your expertise? There's a huge difference. By the time they get to the live webinar, they are like, hey, tell me what you got because I want it. Right? You know that meme? Take my money, right? The guy throwing his money, right? This is what you want. When you do this, they're like, leave me alone. When you are in this mode of, they're like, when you get to the offer here, they're like, leave me alone. I just opt in because I thought your ebook looked interesting. Right? You don't want this. What you want is you want to get them to a live webinar. And by the way, why is a live webinar so much better to sell with your demo? Is because I can go back and forth. People can ask questions. Remember my dad? He asked questions. He find out what's wrong, what's their problem, what they're suffering from, what they don't like. Why do you need a new car? What do you like about your car? Oh, I hate the stereo. It stinks. I think 2 of my speakers are blown out. It doesn't have cruise control. It doesn't have keyless entry, whatever it was, right? Open the doors with the keyless entry. My dad now knows these are the things I show them in the car I'm selling. I'm going to show them the stereo and how much better it is than their car. I'm going to show them that it has great keyless entry and how we can open the car from far away. This is the 90s, guys. Okay. Right. I'm not going to show them the leather seats. I'm not going to show them the sporty spoiler. I'm not going to show them how the headlights, the head beams and the lights go super far and because they're xenon and all this stuff. They don't care about that stuff. They care about the problems they have. And this is what the live webinar does, is at the live webinar, you get to ask these questions and you get to address those problems with your product, your solution, right? Love it. We got some questions. I'm going to answer some questions before we move on to the next step. We got a question here from Nelsa. Can you poll the audience to find out what they want most? Yes, Nelsa. I just popped a poll myself earlier in this webinar. You can create multiple polls. You can make them timed. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's beautiful. Our flagship offer on the live webinar. And guess what, guys? I'm going to give you an offer today. So you can see it as an example. I practice what I preach. Okay. So live webinar leads to the flagship offer. Okay, this is where you then sell what you build your business around. Okay, and guys, if you have any questions along the way, pop them in the questions area. We're going to answer every single question. So this is what builds trust. We're going to get all the trust first with the automated webinar. We're going to build the automated webinar so it's a trust building machine. They make their initial purchase with their small entry level product, and then they get invited to my live webinar after 2 weeks. Because every 2 weeks I fill my live webinar with people that have gone through the automated webinar, and boom, I get them on my live webinar. I show them a demo. They're ready to buy my product. They're primed now. They're ready to go. They're buyers. And by the way, they're not going to register the live webinar if they don't want to learn, because I told them, hey, this webinar is about my product. If you want to learn more about my product and how it can help you, then come to my live webinar. They're not going to come if they're not interested. This is what's the beauty of this system. Okay. Love it. Your own automated webinar funnel yourself with far greater ease. I showed you all the steps, right? But do you want to do it the easy way with step-by-step guidance? Let me know in the chat. Pop it in the chat. Let's be honest. We all need a little hand-holding sometimes, a little bit of a kick in the butt, a little bit of somebody to answer to, a group to answer to, somebody that's going to tell me, hey, where's your work? We would never graduate high school if we didn't have that, guys. Okay? We all need accountability. And it's not because we're weak. It's because we're human. Okay? So would you like to build this automated funnel with the accountability you need? Let me know in the chat. Would you like to do it with all the templates, the slides, the scripts, the formulas, everything you need step by step? Would you like it with also some live coaching so that you can make sure somebody checks your work? Hey, does my landing page look good? Is this a compelling promise? Is it compelling enough? What about my initial offer? Does this look good? Right? What about the price point? Is this enough value? How about the actual video itself? How do I shoot that? How do I make that happen? Let me know in the chat to make it all happen all together, right? I want to make this a no-brainer for you. I want to make this super simple so that you can implement what I just showed you very, very easily. Okay. And it's called the Automated Webinar Challenge. It's 30 days. And the reason why I wanted to do this webinar today and teach you this workshop is because I want you to take action. I want you to actually have this in your business. Okay. And let me explain to you what this challenge is. On Monday, you'll get access to our first week of the challenge. You get access to all our training step by step. You're going to look over my shoulder. These are video recordings that you're going to watch, but everybody's starting at the same time. Okay. The Automated Webinar Challenge is 30 days, 30 videos. Okay. Every day, I'm going to say it's day one, guys. Let's go. This is what you got to do. And there's homework every day. So the first thing we're going to talk about is that you're going to allot some time every day where you're going to need 15, 20 minutes to do what you got to do. Why? Because I learned that momentum is super powerful. If you do something small every day, it builds upon. And in 30 days, you're going to have this whole system built. Okay. And if it's not built, if you do all the work and it's not built, you will have nothing to lose. I'm actually going to say, I don't want your money because my job is to make sure you're successful. Remember, if you don't win, I don't win. Okay. Next, you're going to get the access to the software for 30 days. I'm going to give you the software so you can build with me. Every day, you're going to do things inside the software so that you don't have to pay for the software for those 30 days so that you can launch your automated webinar and it's out in the world. And you don't have to worry about what do I use, what software, how do I do it? I'm going to show you how to do it with our software. So you're going to get access to the software. Okay. You're also going to get 30 SOP templates. SOP templates stands for Standard Operating Procedures. These are templates to show you how to do each step so that guess what? After you build your first automated webinar funnel, right? You can then hand over this SOP template to anybody, or these templates, a VA, somebody on your team, and they can just do it step by step. Okay, so you can even automate the automation, okay, which is pretty cool. What else? You're also going to get access to our private community. Inside Webinar Ninja, we have a community called Ninja Town, but we have a special space that's only for people that are taking the challenge. And this is a place where you're going to be able to ask questions, get feedback, learn best practices, put screenshots of your landing page. I'm going to show you about that in a second. Get insights from me and the team to figure out how to improve it so that you're not doing this alone. One of the things I learned about entrepreneurship is that it's lonely. You got to do this with everybody, as many people as you can. Build a community around yourself. And what's great about it is that you become friends with these people. You maybe become partners, work together, help each other out, which is fantastic. Presentation slide templates. You're also going to get the slide templates so that you can be able to build your automated webinar with Keynote, PowerPoint, or Canva, right? So yes, this challenge is how to build your automated webinar so that it leads to the live webinar. So you can build this whole automated webinar system. Okay. So that you can build these things out with your own branding, your own style. It tells you exactly what to do in the slides. This is just something that one of our students says, one of the many testimonials you get about this challenge. Simple steps. Omar breaks things down, easy to follow steps, helps us grow our audience and increase sales. Love how the short lessons are packed with information. Every day we have a very short lesson so that you can just get to work. Absolutely priceless in my opinion. Thank you. Thank you, Eric, for that awesome testimony. Here are a few more from our past students. The point of the challenge is to give you the information you need for today. Here's your homework assignment. Do it. And I'm going to hold you accountable in the private community and in the weekly calls. Have you done your homework? Because we need to make sure that you do the homework every day because it builds upon each other and you want to be left behind. So many people have launched their products and services through this challenge. They're able to get the funding through the challenge, through their automated webinar, through that entry-level product to be able to fund their marketing and sales to grow their business. There's so many great testimonies that we've been able to gather, but here's just a few, okay? Next, I'm going to give you everything you need. By the way, what I just showed you, these bullet points, right? This is all doesn't matter. I'm just showing you how we're going to get there. This is how we're going to get there. You're going to have a system that's going to get you leads. It's going to get you sales. I'm going to show you how to market so you can get people on your automated webinar so that you can grow that email list, make that initial offer, and then invite them to your live webinar so you can sell your flagship product. This is how we get there. Okay. This is how we get there. But what is there is actually more leads and sales. Okay. But We're going to get there with 30 days, every single day, step-by-step instructions. You're going to get coaching via a private group. You're going to get full access to our webinar software for 30 days. You're going to get our SOP templates, like I told you, the standard operating procedure, so you can automate what you learn. Here's just some of the things that people have said in the past. People sharing their registration pages as they're building them, as they're building their webinars, as they're building their whole system. People just cheering each other on. Guys, the reason why I have this poster here, Rocky in the background, is because Rocky, in my opinion, is all of us. We need to cheer ourselves along the way. We have to put our hands up and say, we can do this. And that's why we have this group, right? Is so that you can push each other to get to the finish line. And we will get to the finish line. So this leaves us with two options, okay? Option number one, you can leave this webinar, keep doing what you're doing, and continue to get whatever results you're getting. If you're happy with those results, great. That's option number one. Option number two is you get started with me on the Automated Webinar Challenge. You get better, you get results, and you do it the easy way. You do it with accountability. You do it with coaching. You do it with the group. Okay? These are your two options. That's really it, right? There's no other option. You can either just do nothing and continue to get whatever you're getting right now, or you can get started and get better results. Okay? You get unlimited live webinars. You get access to our pro accounts, because it includes both unlimited live and unlimited automated. You get unlimited landing pages and statistics. You can run paid webinars. If you want to run a paid workshop in the next 30 days with our software, you can go ahead and do that. You get unlimited email automations, automated reminders, all kinds of stuff, as well as access to our community and our training at the academy. All that stuff is included inside our WebinarNinja account. You're getting that included with this offer, okay? So we've had hundreds of reviews of people loving our software, loving our systems, loving our courses. So you have nothing to worry about. But I don't want you just to say, hey, go in blindly. I want to make sure that you get the result. This is why I have this guarantee. This is why I'm doing this special offer. Okay, so let me go ahead and answer all your questions before we wrap up. But I want to let you know, we are starting June 5th. I want you to take this opportunity. You now have all the information you need to make a decision. Go ahead and sign up. You have nothing to lose, because you're going to get your money back if you don't build the system within 30 days, right? And the worst thing is going to happen is that you're going to make some friends, you're going to meet some people, you're going to build and automate it, you're going to get some experience through this, and you're going to be able to find a faster way to build trust and get more sales in your business. Okay? Let's do it. All right. So let me go ahead and thanks, Kay, for the reminder. Let me go ahead and look at the questions real quick. We're going to go, let me know in the chat if it's okay. Pop yes if it's okay, or okay if I can get another 10 minutes of your time so I can answer questions and make sure that I give you a little bit extra value. Let me know in the chat if that's okay with you. Okay. Diane says, what's your take on selling prevention versus urgent problem? Do you do content marketing first to educate about the prevention aspects, or do you just focus on finding urgent problems to solve within your niche? A good question, Diane. I like selling products and services and running businesses that allow me to roll the boulder down the hill. I don't want to roll the boulder up the hill. Business is hard as it is. I don't need to make it harder on myself. So I like to go with the things that are incredibly painful for people, that they're like, if you can help me with this, I will love you forever, right? This is the kind of product, service, coaching I'm interested in, right? Because one, you're making a bigger impact. Two, the bigger the problem, the bigger the offer, the more you can charge, right? If you're changing somebody's life around, they're willing to spend anything for that, right? This is why some of the most profitable professions, like lawyers that get people out of jams, are expensive, right? So I like to deal with big problems, right? I want compelling problems. Why? Because it's noisy out there. I want to stand out. I want to be able to get their attention quickly. Thanks, Diane. Love the question. Marsha, can a no-brainer offer be $15 membership or $27 membership? Definitely, Marsha. This is a no-brainer kind of purchase. $27, $15. It's a line item in a business or a person's. They're not really thinking about it too much. It's not too expensive, especially, by the way, This is all relative to what you show. If you show incredible value and how much people are loving this membership, $15 membership, and all the results are getting, it's going to be a no-brainer for them. So in pale of the value, the price really doesn't really seem that expensive, right? If I'll give you a good example. I was part of a business community. They had like a forum and things like that, and they got bought out. They were called Fizzle, and they got bought out recently. But it was like a membership of $39 a month, and it was not a lot of content, but the community there was great, and I was part of. I met all these people, and I made so many connections. It was well worth it. $39? You kidding me? It was chump change. So yeah, definitely. Matt says, how long is the ideal instant access free webinar? So in this model, what we're doing here with this type of replacing this funnel so we can build enough trust to get that initial offer, it's about 25 to 30 minutes. It's not that long because live webinars are longer because we're going back and forth and we're filling the time because people are participating. With automated webinars, we're going to talk about this in the challenge. We do something radically different. Number one, we build trust instantly in the first second by saying it's automated. Wow. How many of you have ever experienced that? Nobody does that. And you're going to earn so much trust because you're getting in front of it and saying, hey guys, thanks for signing up. This webinar is automated. I built it knowing it's automated, and we're going to keep it interactive. Don't worry. I'm going to ask you rhetorical questions. You're going to write down notes. You're going to do activities with me, but I want to get in front of it and say, hey, this is automated and I built this specifically for you, right? Specifically for automation. And the reason why this is game changing is because it's like, whoa, somebody's not trying to put the wool over my eyes and they're actually being honest about this. Two, they're actually building the video and the lesson and the value of that automated webinar in context is the fact that it's recorded. The way I prepare and I run a live webinar is totally different because I have a live audience versus me actually playing with you, having fun on the recording, making sure that I, pause for a sec. Hey, what do you think about that? Write that down in your notes. And I'm talking to you knowing that it's recorded. Totally different game, right? So this is to answer your question. Long story short, we got a whole bunch of stuff in the challenge that you're going to learn. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, Matt. Diane says, do you make your low-cost offer more than your no-brainer offer? Do you make your low-cost offer more of a no-brainer offer or more valuable than what many offer as a freebie or checklist? Yes. So I like to 10x my no-brainer offer. So like they would willingly pay $70 for my $7 offer, or they would willingly pay $1,000 for my $100 offer, whatever it is, right? And I'm actually building this in mind. I work backwards. I say, hey, I'm going to create a new product. It's worth $500. Okay. This is what I would sell it for. What is this product going to be? What's going to be included? How am I going to get them the result? And really, how am I going to get them $500 worth or more in value when it comes to what they're getting the result out of this content, right? And I then say, no, I'm going to charge 50. Game changing. It's going to really sell because people are going to automatically see what I'm getting out of this course, what I'm getting out of this no-brainer offer is not even close to what other people offer, right? And this is what this does is it lowers your cost per acquisition. That means you're getting customers entering your funnel, entering and buying your products, and then buying your flagship product at a much lower cost. It doesn't cost you that much to get that kind of customer anymore. Okay. What if you already are a customer of Webinar Ninja? No problem, man. We have lots of customers that take the challenge. You can sign up and you can get access. Of course, if you don't have a pro account, we will give you access for 30 days to the pro account so you can create automated webinars. So you can participate and have, and this is all part of the challenge. So you can run your automated webinars with your account. And we love ninjas to join. This is one of our favorite people to be part of the action. Marsha says, I'm already a customer too. No problem, Marsha. Sign up. And you can go ahead and participate in the challenge. And of course, if you don't have a pro account that has automated webinars, we can upgrade you to pro for 30 days so that you can use it and create your automated webinar. Diane says, in the challenge, do you go over writing or sending follow-up emails to keep us top of mind, making sure they consume the no-brainer purchase? Diane, not only do we do that, but we give you the scripts. We give you the actual email scripts that work for us that you can just copy and paste and modify them to your own so that you can just go ahead and these are the follow-up emails I need to pull up. Awesome stuff. Drew says, Any examples or case studies? We have tons, and if you go to the page, we have a few testimonials there, and the ones I shared earlier as well. And inside of Webinar Ninja, when you go inside Ninja Town, you'll have plenty of people. By the way, anybody in the chat have taken the challenge already? Some of you have, I'm pretty sure, and they can pop in to let you know. Uh, Nelsa says, is a pro account included for how long? So when you sign up, there's instructions inside that's going to tell you that you're going to sign up for a 14-day trial for the pro account. You're going to contact support. They're going to check that you're part of the challenge, and they're going to give you 30 days instead of 14. So that's how it works now. So you're going to get 30 days of the pro account. So that way you can have access during the challenge. Of course, if after the challenge you want to cancel, you don't want to have WebinarNinja, it's fine. But we encourage you to obviously to keep your automated webinar running and to be part of our group. Awesome stuff. Is a Q&A call recorded? Yes, you'll get access to the recording for life, as well as all the 30 days. So you'll be part of the recordings of the calls as well as the actual lessons. Those are lifetime access. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Diane, I'm going to give them. Yeah, you got it, Diane. I love it. Anything else, guys? Let me know in the chat right now. Everybody here on the webinar, let me know. Did you get a win today? Did you learn something? Did something change in your mind? Did you get a new perspective? Let me know if you got a win today. If it was valuable, if this hour was a good time spent for you, let me know. Love it. Thanks, Diane. Thanks, Marsha. Sammy, so good to see you, man. Awesome to have you here. We have Tyson, love it. Valerie, good stuff. Great investment of my time. Love it. Marsha, wonderful. Awesome. Wendy says, do you run live coaching in Webinar Ninja? So Wendy, we do regular coffee hours inside as a member. It's included in every membership. So we do like a monthly call. I'm a part of that. Jenny's help. You can ask Q&A questions, all kinds of stuff. We have coaching inside of our private group, which is called it's called Ninja Town, which is like our private forum. So we are there to help you along the way. Anytime. I run webinars all the time for our members so that they can get better and improve. So Wendy, as a member, you get regular calls and coaching as just part of being part of our community. Sammy, love it. Barbara, good. James, sure got me thinking. Love it. Drew, need to see the replay. Missed the first 30 minutes. No problem, Drew. Got your back. You'll get it immediately after the webinar. Nicole, thanks for being here. Guys, thank you so much. And thank you for those who have joined already. I've joined the Automated Webinar Challenge. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait to install this into your business. Guys, I wish you all the best in whatever you do in your business. And I just want to leave you with this. One of my favorite books, one of my favorite biographies is Shoe Dog. It's the autobiography it's a memoir of Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. And in that book, he talks about the struggle of entrepreneurship. He talks about how hard it is to be us, to be the people that are working day and night. This guy ate glass for 20 years before he was able to even be profitable. And he has a line in the book that he used to tell himself. He used to tell himself this line every time he was working on his business. And this line is, the cowards never started. The weak died along the way. That leaves us. That leaves us, guys. If you're still in it, if you're still trying, if you're still building, you're still growing, that leaves you. Everybody else, they couldn't make it. You're a winner just for being a part of this journey, okay? So I hope that I get to share that journey with you in the challenge, in Webinar Ninja. See you guys on the next one. Take care so much. Take care.